Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Thank you very much for coming. It's Thursday. It's busy day. Next day office. Still you are here. Thank you. We'll start with quick Mangalacharan prayers. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Mangalacharan prayers, as I always say, it is very, very important part. Why? Because we should seek blessings from whom? From senior Vaishnavas, right? Acharyas, who have taken a lot of effort in writing these scriptures. If these scriptures were not there, then we would not be together doing something in our own world. So these scriptures are very, very important. And all these acharyas have painstakingly wrote these scriptures. A lot of efforts. That time paper also was not there. It was all palm leaves. They used to write on the palm leaves. And they used to preserve it, those palm leaves. Right? The hawa ki jhoka. And then palm leaves also gone. They used to preserve it. So it takes a lot of effort. In fact, you know who is the second most, or the person who has written the second most number of verses? I told this before. सोचो हाँ अरे बोला था ना सेकंड हाईएस्ट गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड याद है ना सेकंड रूप गोस्वामी जीवा गोस्वामी सनातन गोस्वामी राइट जीवा गोस्वामी सो Akbar, who was a Muslim, but he was so inspired by Jiva Goswami that he asked Jiva Goswami, not working, someone has to help me there. What is mic? अपना उधर को वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दो. हरे कृष्णा. आ रहा है आवाज अब आ रहा है. हरे कृष्णा. कहाँ था? Where was I? Sorry. हाँ, तो जीवा गोस्वामी. So Akbar told to Jiva Goswami, ask something, ask. So Jiva Goswami said, no, I don't have anything to ask for myself. Just tell people of yours to not harm Vrindavan. Whenever they are coming to Vrindavan, they should just come to take darshan of the Lordship, because that time Muslim invaders, they were creating chaos and all. So he said, okay, granted. So he was so inspired by Jiva Goswami, imagine. Then he asked, no, ask something for yourself. He said, I don't have anything to ask. I'm a mendicant. You know, what will I ask? And then after a lot of force means verbal force, pyar se. Because he really wanted to serve Jiva Goswami. See, sometimes when sadhus are there, even if you don't have any faith in them, just by seeing a sadhu, you feel like offering your obeisances like that. That's the power of a sadhu. Like that. Even you don't know that sadhu, just entering, people will start bowing down. That's power. So this Akbar said, no, please ask for something. And then Jiva Goswami said that I want to write scriptures. And for that, I need a lot of palm leaves. You remember? Yeah. I was remembering now. When I was talking about that, and he said that I need a lot of palm leaves. So then Akbar gave him best of the palm leaves. Best of the palm leaves. So, and then Jiva Goswami wrote all the scriptures, and so many scriptures he wrote. And so because of Jiva Goswami and all the acharyas, we have these translations. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada used to write translations, he used to have many acharyas commentaries. He used to pick up all the commentaries and then he used to write. So when we are reading the Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, who is the founder acharya of whom? ISKCON. So when you're reading his commentaries, you can understand you're reading the commentaries of all the previous acharyas. That's the power of. Sometimes people say, there are some sadhus or yogis, they say that I have never read Bhagavad Gita, I don't believe in scriptures, you should be your own guru. In spiritual life, it doesn't work like that. You need to take shelter of some previous acharya. Previous acharya takes shelter of previous acharya. And it all goes back to whom? Krishna. That is the power of disciplic succession. People nowadays don't believe in blessings, but blessings are the thing. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that a devotee's body is made of the mercy of his teacher. Spiritual, like that. So the power of a Vaishnava. So, okay, I was not supposed to speak. We'll start with the prayer. Suddenly I was recollecting that thought. So, when we're reading these prayers, we should not think of it as a ritual. Every week we read. We're actually very grateful to previous teachers. Okay, with that mood we should read these prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamayyam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamsha He Krishna Karuna Sandho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vancha Kalpataru Vishwa Kripa Sindhubhyaiva Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauryantaminda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shivaya Krishna Shivade Radha Swami Namo Shivaya Krishna Shivade Bhakti-dāna Swami Namaste Saraswati Gaudam Charya Shrimad Vasudeshwari Namakom Karati Vachalam Namaite Yat Kripata Mahavande Shri Guru Paramātmā Madhavam Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have Bhagavad Gita as well. If you want, you can take a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, are you able to see the screen? Okay. So I'll request devotees over there, they can move here so that you can see the screen in a better way. Yeah, so that they can also see. Okay. What's your name? First time? Manju. Welcome, Manju. First time. Hare Krishna. So we are on chapter number 13th. And today we are going to discuss a very important theme, that is importance of hearing. That comes in 13th chapter. Okay, so before that we'll quickly revise the entire Bhagavad Gita quickly, ekdam fast. So Bhagavad Gita is divided into how many parts? Three parts. Very good. Abhi thoda yaad aa raha hai. What are the first 6 chapters talks about? Karma-yoga. Last 6 chapters, Jnana-yoga. Middle 6 chapters, Bhakti-yoga, right? So now we are in the 13th chapter. And how Bhagavad Gita started? Arjuna had a dilemma. Arjuna did not want to fight. He thought that, kya rakha hai is dunya mein, right? All that philosophy. He felt there is no point of enjoying in this world, correct? And which makes sense, correct? So he didn't want to enjoy. At the same time, then what he wanted to do? He wanted to escape. He didn't want to enjoy, he wanted to escape. And Krishna said that you cannot even escape. Because even if you go to jungle, wahan pe bhi you will, because you have Kshatriya mentality, there also you will try to find animals to kill. Because you have that mentality. That's why sometimes people who are, I told this story before, a person who is completely engrossed in work, if he is suddenly told to leave the work, then he feels very chanchal, Why? Because entire life he has done only work, only office work. So because of that, suddenly if he is told not to work, something or the other he will find some excuse to get engaged in work. Similarly, Arjuna being a Kshatriya, that was his nature, that was his dharma, to protect people. So when he is in jungle, there also he will get into some fighting only. So Krishna told that your swadharma is to engage. Don't try to enjoy, don't try to escape, but try to engage. Engage in this material world. How we can engage in this material world. So that's when Bhagavad Gita starts. Second chapter. So first chapter is like a container. If you want to eat something at the end of the class, we will have prasadam. Right? If you want to eat something, you need a container. Bina container ke to you will not be able to eat. You cannot say, give me in the hand. Right? 2 hands only halwa, and halwa is not there. Whatever sweet someone has made. Halwa or rice, something like that, only 2 items will come. Right? Or you're not like a chef where you will put here, like that. Right? You need a container. So first chapter is like that container, which is building up. Why Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita? So first chapter is like that container. So that's why it is important. We should not skip the first chapter thinking that Krishna is not speaking. First chapter is also important. That's why Bhagavad Gita starts with first chapter. Building up is happening. That why Arjuna didn't want to fight, and 5 reasons he gives that we already discussed. So now we enter into 13th chapter. In 13th chapter, last time, what we discussed? The great qualities of Kshetragya, okay. Of whom? Qualities of Supersoul. I'm able to breathe. At least I think. Qualities of Supersoul, right? Upadrashta, he can see, he's overseer, he's benefactor, he's enjoyer, right? He's permitter. All these things we discussed in detail. So then the question comes, so many qualities are there in this Supersoul, in this Paramātmā, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. I want to take darshan of that Paramātmā, who is so merciful, who is allowing everything to happen. I want to take darshan of that personality. So we enter into verse number 25. How can we see Supersoul? What are the different ways? So 25th verse talks about the 3 ways to see, but 26th verse talks about the perfect way. There is perfect, most perfect, right? More perfect, most perfect. So 26th verse talks about the most perfect way, and 25th verse talks about other ways also, like that. So this verse will talk a little bit, but we will dive more deeper in verse number 26. It's a very, very sweet verse. So you can repeat after me. dhyānenātmani paśyanti kecid ātmānam anye sāṅkhyena yogena karma-yogena cāpare dhyānenātmani paśyanti kecid ātmānam ātmanā anye sāṅkhyena yogena karma-yogena cāpare. See, we can see paśyanti. Paśyanti means to see. So they are saying you can see whom? ātmānam ātmanā. In whose heart? Within Atma, one more person is saying. Along with Atma, one more person is saying. We will be able to see them. How? By 3 ways. First way is what? Dhyana. Second way is what? क्या लगता है? Sāṅkhyena. And third way is what? Karma. See, you are all Pandits. Hari Bol. Right? It's saying you can see Supersoul through 3 ways. Dhyana, Sāṅkhyena, and Karma. Right? So we will see quickly. Who wants to read the translation? We'll start from maybe Akhila Rasamrit. Go ahead.
Some perceive the Supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working with fruitive desires.
Without fruitive desires. with fruitive तो difficult हो जाएगा. Right? So we'll see here. Karma-yogena. Karma-yoga. Karma-kanda means with fruitive desires. But as soon as yoga in Sanskrit, every word has a root word by which that word is defined. Every word is a root word. When you read, when you try to understand Sanskrit, you don't have to. That's the beauty of Srila Prabhupada. Without knowing Sanskrit also, you can understand Bhagavad Gita. So yoga comes from the root word. You know what? Bolo. Yujya. And yujya means to connect. Every chapter in Bhagavad Gita ends with the word yoga. Even if you're frustrated, still you can connect with Krishna through frustration. First chapter is that. Arjuna is frustrated. There's a frustrated yoga, like that. You can connect with Krishna. Why? Because you are frustrated. Now you want to connect with Krishna. Because you're frustrated, you know in this material there is no enjoyment. So you want to see something higher. So through anything you can connect with Krishna. So yujya means to connect. So karma, you can connect Krishna with Krishna through karma. With karma. So that's why it is karma yoga. Dhyana yoga, you can connect with Krishna by cultivation of knowledge. You can connect with Krishna or Paramātmā through cultivation of dhyana, to meditation. So three things are dhyana, people know, meditation, right? There are 8 limbs of dhyana, ashtanga yoga, right? Yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, all that we have discussed. We'll not go into detail because we want to focus on 26th verse. But there are many ways. There are 8 limbs of ashtanga yoga by which we can focus. When the dharana, pratyahara, samadhi, finally we reach samadhi and we are completely concentrated. We are seeing Paramātmā within our heart in 8 inches. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. The height of the Paramātmā. See, imagine how detailed. You see any scripture of any other religion, you will not see so much details. I was talking to whom yesterday? Someone I was talking to, in Stanford. There was a very nice person, I forgot his name. He had so much questions. His teacher was a pope. A teacher was there. He used to go every day. And he was so much deeply understanding Christianity. But he had so many questions. So finally that pope said, if you have so much questions, you should approach Srila Prabhupada. Can you imagine? He said, if you have so deeper questions of life, then you should approach Srila Prabhupada. And then he approached Srila Prabhupada. And then his name, he got initiated. You know what is his name? Became Ghanshyam. And later on he took sannyas. And then his name became Bhakti Tirth Swami. He was deeply understanding Christianity. But all the scripture, if you see, it doesn't have full explanation. It is at very peripheral level. But that's why Vedas are so vast, because it explains everything. Whatever is there in the world, everything is explained in Vedas. And Bhagavad Gita is like a cream of all the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, why I was saying about this? Yes. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is actually mentioned what is the height of, and how the height is mentioned. It is said the distance between the thumb and the first finger. Like that it is mentioned. So the distance between thumb and first finger is almost 8 inches. So like that they describe in a very gross, in a very measured way, like that. So one can see Krishna or Paramātmā within the heart through this. First is dhyana yoga. Second is sāṅkhyena yoga. Sāṅkhyena means what? Analyze. To analyze. Once we start analyzing the world, we start understanding there are 24 elements by which this world is created. See, we are all analyzing. There are people analyzing cricket. You see, after every cricket match, they will analyze. The person who has scored a lot, they will talk about that. This guy is doing like that, back foot, front foot, this, that, all this. And then next time he is gone on duck, then they will say something wrong about it. His footwork was not good. Then again, you see, now I was realizing, that time I used to watch commentators and all that analysis, and at the end of the entire match, paralysis, all that thing was happening. And if you see match after match, they are talking exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing they'll be talking. But we'll be feeling, wow, kya chal raha hai? Same thing they're talking again and again. And we feel that something new is coming. But it is all garbage. So we are analyzing different things. Some people are analyzing the news. 6 people are shouting, 1 anchor is speaking in between. And they are thinking they are analyzing, but only noise is coming. Similarly, a yogi is also analyzing the entire world. And then it comes to know that the entire world is created by 24 elements. But then the yogi is going deeper. When he starts thinking deeper, then he's realizing that 24 elements is getting, this world is created. But then what is the difference between a living body and dead body? Dead body also has 24 elements. Living body also has 24 elements. Then what is the difference? Then the living body, then the yogi understands, oh no, there is no 24 elements. There is something one more, which is Atma, 25th element. But then a deep thinker will understand, this is Sāṅkhyena. Then it will think, okay, but if the Atma is living body and dead body is there, who is controlling this entire living body? Why is the living body not able to live forever? Who is controlling all this? Then he comes to the 26th element, which is Paramātmā. And then he starts, oh, I want to see that Paramātmā, I want to know that Paramātmā. Then through Sāṅkhyena one can see Paramātmā, like this, through analysis. Right? And then the third is karma-yoga. Okay, I don't want to go through all this. Whatever fruits I have, whatever I am getting through my karma, through going to my office, Meta, Broadcom, this com, that com, whatever I'm getting, I'll try to use it for Krishna's purpose. That is then becomes karma-yoga. But then Krishna is saying, Arjuna, wait a minute. These three things are a little difficult. Do you think it is difficult? Right? Karma-yoga, then dhyāna-yoga, meditation. Idhar to matlab, see, now only we are not able to concentrate. Right? So much thing, here, this happening. Right? See now. So hard to meditate in this world. And Sāṅkhya, who has a time to analyze this entire world? No time. Right? So Krishna is saying, wait a minute, there is an easier way to see Krishna, to understand Paramātmā. And that will enter into the next verse, which is verse number 26. You can repeat after me. Anye tvevam majananta Shrutvan yebhya upasate Tepi chati tarantyeva Mrityum śruti-parāyaṇāḥ. So what they are saying? Become a śruti-parāyaṇāḥ. Parayana means inclination. We were reading just now before Narayana, Parayana. We should become inclined towards Narayan. So similarly, Shruti-parāyaṇāḥ. Shruti-parāyaṇāḥ means become inclined towards hearing. 2 times this word Shruti is mentioned here. See, Shrutva and Shruti. Such an important. Our entire life. See, if you are asleep, the only you will get up is if someone will say, you imagine you are sleeping and someone will say like that to you, some action. Will you be able to get up? No. And then immediately they will say, get up. Then you will get up, right? Why? Because the ears are always active. That is the only thing while sleeping that is active. Everything else also sleeping. But ears are active. This is anye. There are other ways also, but this is the most easiest way. Right? We'll read. We'll sing this verse again, then we'll discuss this verse in detail. Anye tvevam majananta Shrutvan yebhya upasate Tepi chanti tarantyeva Mrityum śruti-parāyaṇāḥ. Okay. You want to read, Aman?
Yeah. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Right? How they are transcending? By hearing from authorities. Today we'll discuss this in detail. And they transcend the path of birth and death. Birth and death is mrityum samsara. Last time we discussed what is samsara. Right? So mrityum samsara, the cycle of birth and death, one can cross over. And we are hearing from authorities. It's so important. This one thing, if we have perfected this life of hearing, perfected this thing of hearing, we can attain perfection. You see, Parikshit Maharaj also attained perfection just by hearing. Just by hearing. So, okay, let's read this purport. It's a nice purport. This glorifies hearing. Okay. Nikhil will read from you.
This verse is particularly applicable to modern society because in modern society, I'll start off. This verse is particularly applicable to modern society because in modern society there is particularly no education in spiritual matters.
Srila Prabhupada said that CMU, something MIT, no, MIT, sorry. He was saying MIT has so many departments, but there is no department to find out in the body there is soul. Can you imagine? All the education is there, but the education of the soul is missing. Right?
Some of the people may appear to be aesthetic or agnostic,
Atheistic.
Atheistic, agnostic or philosophical, but actually there is no knowledge of philosophy. As for the common man, if he is a good soul, then there is a chance for advancement by hearing. This hearing process is very important. Lord Chaitanya, who preached Krishna consciousness in the modern world, gave great stress to hearing. Because of this, common man simply hears from authoritative sources, he can progress. Especially according to Lord Chaitanya, if he hears the transcendental vibration,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
it is stated therefore that all men should take advantage of hearing from realized souls and gradually become able to understand everything. The worship of the Supreme Lord will then undoubtedly take place. Lord Chaitanya has said that in that age, no one needs to change his position.
Sane, wherever you're situated, whatever you're doing, right? If you're going to office, whatever you're doing, just be there. But chant Hare Krishna. Such a easy. Do you think it is easier than meditation? Yes. It is easier than analyzing this world. Yes. It is easier than karma-yoga. Just chant Hare Krishna. That becomes bhakti yoga. And we have included Krishna in our life. We have included Krishna in our life.
But one should give up the endeavor to understand the absolute truth by speculative reasoning. One should learn to become the servant of those who are in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. If one is fortunate enough to take shelter of the pure devotee, hear from him about
How many times Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this word? Here, right? Because our entire spiritual life is dependent on hearing.
Hear from him about self-realization and follow in his footsteps. One will be gradually elevated to the position of pure devotee. In this verse particularly, the process of hearing is strongly recommended, and this is very appropriate. Although the common man is often not as capable as so-called philosophers, faithful hearing from the authoritative person will help one transcend this material existence and go back to the Godhead, go back to home.
Go back to Godhead, back to home. See, again the word hearing came. Again, hearing. This point is extremely important. That we need to keep hearing. Recently I was talking to Rajiv Prabhu. Sometimes in office we discuss some philosophy. I was just saying that, right now the body is active. We are able to do services, whatever. But once the old age kicks in, 50, 55, 60, then, we will not be able to do as services as we are able to do now. I was telling you. And then we were discussing what are the kind of services that we will be able to do, even if the body is not supporting, right? And then we were discussing that only thing that we'll be able to do properly, at least we should be able to do, is hearing. His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, his body is not been now as flexible. He's not able to move that much. He's very obviously elderly now, very, very aged. But you see, whenever any video, anyone is going to his room, Chaitanya Charitamrita is going on in the background. Someone is reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So we should develop this taste of hearing Krishna Katha. We have to develop this taste, because if you have not developed the taste now, you think in the old age you will be able to suddenly develop the taste of hearing Krishna Katha? It's not possible. Think about it. I told this story many times. A person who is completely addicted. There was one person who had a shop, and he was completely addicted to maintaining that shop. And he had 4 kids. And read this story. And then when he was about to leave the world, his 4 sons came. Let me at least see my father for the last time. And my father can also see all of us for the last time. So all the 4 sons came to his father on the deathbed. And when the father saw all the 4 sons, first thing he asked, Dukan pe kaun hai? You understood? Because entire life he has just done that only. Dukan, 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 dukan. But he has never used his kan for hearing. For hearing. Whatever we do entire life, that's what we will do at the end of the life. And this point is extremely important to understand. Otherwise, we will waste our life. And at the end of the life, you'll be busy seeing some movies and all. You'll not be able to develop taste. It is not possible. Think about it. It is not possible. Right? And we have to manage our life, our time in such a way that we have given ample time to hearing and chanting. Recently, I was hearing a class. Someone was asking, what is the most practical way so that we have time for hearing and chanting? And then I also, my ears opened. What is the way? And I could experience it from last 1 week. I'm taking a diligent effort to do this. And that guy said, the devotee said, that if you get up early in the morning, then your entire day, you will be able to do your Krishna conscious activities. And if you have not got up early in the day, entire day, you will be in the catch-up mode. Ye baki hai, ye baki hai, ye baki hai, ye baki hai. Entire day you will be in the catch-up mode if you have not got up on time. And I'm personally seeing that from last 1 week. I'm making sure that whatever, because sometimes what was happening is Kishori was getting up, sometimes she was crying that, oh, Papa, sleep with me, otherwise I'll get up, and she getting up better, I'll sleep with her. So consciously I was trying to say, okay, till the time she doesn't get up, I'll sleep. But this week I was telling Manjari, last Saturday, that whatever happens, I'll get up at 5 o'clock. And I was realizing that now this catch-up is not happening. I was saying, right, in the office I go and I'm trying to complete my rounds. Your rounds should get over by 7 o'clock. Easily 16 rounds, you will be able to chant them. 16 Hare Krishna Mahamantra, 16 times into 108. You will be able to chant. If you have got up 5 o'clock, whatever time, you have to make sure. And then automatically at 10 o'clock, we'll start yawning. But if you have got up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then you can stretch till 1 o'clock also. Koi tension nahi. Right? Because now you have slept so much in the morning. So we have to make sure that we are on the bed by 10 o'clock. So that we can get up at 5 o'clock, then we are completing our rounds, and the entire day you will start realizing you have so much time. You have so much time for hearing, you have so much for chanting, you have so much time for reading. But we have to get up on time. Morning time is the best time to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then you will get time for hearing as well. Hearing as well. I'll show you one verse. Pravishta karma-yogena. You remember today I gave a mathematical formula. You remember? Bracket, H, bracket, EAR. So since many of them are engineers and MBAs, I thought I'll put this formula. If we use our ear to hear transcendental vibration, then Krishna automatically comes and resides in our heart and tries to clean whatever dirt is in our heart. This verse talks about that. But I was hearing this verse, I felt, my God, and then immediately that formula came in the heart. So we'll recite. Okay. Pravishta means Pravishta, entering. Okay, we'll read. Karna means Arjuna and Karna. Karna, Arjuna mere aayenge. No. Karna is ears, right? So we'll see. Pravishta karna randhrena Swanam bhavasaroruham Dhunoti shamalam Krishna Salilasya yathasharat Pravishta karna randhrena Swanam bhavasaroruham Dhunoti shamalam Krishna Salilasya yathashara. Okay, who wants to read? Okay. Someone can volunteer.
The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters
So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound incarnation of Krishna. Sound incarnation of Krishna. Even Hare Krishna also sound incarnation of Krishna.
The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water.
So you have muddy water, our heart is filled with lust, anger, greed. All these are there. But Krishna slowly comes, he resides and he cleans. Imagine he's taking such a humble position. He's cleaning our heart, desires which are there in the heart. When it happens, when we start hearing Krishna Katha. We start hearing Krishna Katha. That is the power of Hare Krishna mantra. When the people are shouting on the TV channels, this is happening, that, you think our heart is getting cleansed? It is getting more and more polluted. Amarendra Prabhu was telling, that hit me so badly. Sometimes it happens, sometimes hitting you with a bat. It felt like that to me. I was getting concoction. Just hearing that. He said that when we watch a video which is not related to Krishna, we are pushing ourselves away from Krishna by many lifetimes. Every time you see something on Instagram or on YouTube not related to Krishna, we are pushing ourselves away from Krishna by many lifetimes. You remember Rishi Prabhu? When he spoke like that, I felt, my God, whatever happens, I will not watch something which is not related to Krishna. Because it will only increase the dirt in our heart. How many of us like a clean home? All of us, right? But it will make our home more and more dirty, our heart more and more dirty, if we are putting all that garbage. Our senses are meant for hearing Krishna Katha. When I get PC, vocal cord paralysis, I was telling this in Fremont. Shankran Prabhu told, and I got this, and I was telling to Shankran Prabhu, I was asking him, what is Krishna trying to teach me? And Shankran Prabhu told, this sense that you have got, throat, that is a gift of Krishna. Use it only for Krishna. Don't use it for anything else. Only use it for Krishna. And now when you don't have your voice, just deepen your understanding in Shastras. So when you get your voice back, you can use it only for Krishna, because senses are meant for that. It is not meant for any other thing. Even if you are working, whatever you are doing, we'll use it somehow for Krishna's purpose. That's why whoever we meet, we should talk about Krishna. We should talk about Krishna, nothing else. Let's say something is going on, they might be talking about something else. Yes, that's fine. Then we can talk about Krishna. Otherwise, that association is of no use. No use. You have to understand that. Yes. And how can we be dhrida? Dhrida means whatever we are doing, we want to continue our Krishna consciousness. And we don't want to be, hille-dulle, flickering mindset. We don't want to become like that. We want to become fixed up. For that also there is a verse. Srimad Bhagavatam has questions to all the answers. That is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. It has answers. So this question talks about how Krishna sits in our heart and starts to clean our heart by hearing Krishna Katha. Now how can we become nishtha? How we can become fixed up in our spiritual life? That also comes in this. What is the verse? Let's see. No, it's not. Nashta prayashu bhadreshu. Nashta prayashu. All glories to Google. Okay, you can repeat after me. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati yuttama shloke. Bhagavati yuttama shloke. Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Naishtiki means nishtha. You are fixed up. Right? Fixed up. Like cricket is also fixed up. Kuch bhi ho jaye. Aaj to you want to score. Wo dakta out ho jata hai. Kabhi kabhi that's a different thing. But devotees also wants nishtha. That I will not be like, today I am focusing, tomorrow I am doing something else. No, every day I will chant my rounds. Hare Krishna mantra. Every day in the morning, I'll get up, I'll complete my rounds. And then I'll hear for some time. I'll read for some time. I'll talk about Krishna Katha to someone. I'll bring them. I'll invite them for Thursday program or Sunday feast or Saturday morning program to the temple. I'll talk about Krishna Katha. That nishtha, how it will come? Abhadreshu, all the inauspicious which is there in the world, in the heart, that also gets destroyed. How? We'll see. And one develops nishtha. Who wants to read?
Sorry.
No? Go ahead.
Regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam.
Regular attendance in classes. Hari bol.
And the rendering of service to the pure devotee.
And this is the second thing. How? By rendering service to the pure devotee, which is Nityam Bhavata Seva. When we are hearing from pure devotee, we are rendering actually service to the pure devotee. Even hearing is a service. When we are going to Sunday feast, we are thinking, we are sitting, we are hearing. Actually, our heart is getting cleansed slowly, slowly. Especially when we are hearing from great Vaishnavas. And in our temple, we have Vaishika Prabhu. Right? So that's why we should take this opportunity of hearing from Vaishnava, especially great Vaishnavas, very, very seriously. It's a rare opportunity. It's a rare opportunity. And Bhagavatam goes to the extent that if we are not able to appreciate or not able to recognize a great Vaishnava, then, and we are going to temple, but we are not recognizing the great Vaishnava, then we are like a third class devotee. We are devotee. We are coming to temple, we are little bit hearing Krishna Katha, but we are not able to recognize and give importance that, oh, I'm hearing from a great Vaishnava. Or we are thinking he's also another person. Okay, he's at a leadership position. That much only we are taking them. Then we are like a third class devotee. And today we are going to read how to raise ourselves from third class devotee to second class devotee. And then to the first. We will not go into the first, but at least to the second class devotee. How we have in Western Railways, we have third class bogie, second class bogie, first class bogie. Now first class also is like third class only. Western Railways. Like that, we have also third class devotee known as Kanishta Adhikari. Second class is Madhyam Adhikari. First class is Uttam Adhikari. We will not go into detail of that. Too much for us. We'll talk about how to raise our consciousness from Kanishta to Kanishta, who is recognizing the Lord, but is not recognizing Vaishnavas. The importance of Vaishnava, the importance of hearing Vaishnavas. He is not recognizing that. So we'll read from Jaiva Dharma how one can go to Madhyam Adhikari. Very, very sweet. Okay, sorry. Nikhil, go ahead.
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
That Uttama Shloka. So when we hear about Krishna Katha, heart gets cleansed and we become established. We become very fixed up in our Krishna conscious journey. Okay. So today we are going to read a little bit, because I was reading today with Rajajivan Prabhu about this. I was thinking, I loved it so much. I thought maybe we can read. Okay, we'll read from here. We'll skip a little bit in between. Okay. So this says, there is a lot of things before, so I'll skip that. So the question is getting raised. How someone even starts bhakti? Okay, this question is getting raised. How even someone starts bhakti? So he's saying somehow, okay, by Krishna's mercy or whatever, you got unknowingly association of a pure Vaishnava. You didn't want to take. Somehow you got association of pure Vaishnava, and because of that, you have developed a sukruti of coming to temple and worship the Lord. Okay, so now we have not started our full Krishna conscious journey, but that initial push has happened. Unknowingly, you'll be thinking, how did I find? Maybe in your previous lifetimes. So it's saying, previous lifetimes you might have got some association unknowingly of some pure Vaishnava, and that in this lifetime you are getting a push to worship the Lord. So you are at an elementary stage where we are getting a push towards worshipping the Lord, but we are not recognizing the position of a pure Vaishnava. Position, not leadership position, not that material position. Position in terms of how great the devotee is in his Krishna conscious activities, like that. Okay. So then he's saying, from the Sukruti, previous Sukruti, what happens first? Okay. Now what is happening in this life? So he has started worshipping, but he's Hille-dulle. So now what is happening is, he gets association of devotees. Okay. He gets association of devotees. Then Nityanandas, he is one. This discussion happening between Nityanand, two devotees, you can think like that. And Haridas is a very great Vaishnava, and Nityanand is starting devotee, like that. We will see. He also describes Nityananda Prabhu actually, Nityananda Das, he asks, am I Madhyama or Kanishta? Kanishta is the third class. You are able to understand? So Nityananda gives his biography, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And then Haridas says that you are in this category. We'll not go into that. But we'll try to understand how one can advance in their spiritual life. Okay? Interesting topic? Okay. So he's saying association with devotees. Then Nityananda Das, when association occurs, what happens? When association occurs, what happens? So then Haridas is saying, Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana kata tajjoshanada shipavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramashati. So he's saying from association with the best devotees. Manju, are you able to see the screen? You are able to hear. Okay, perfect. Okay. From association with the best devotees, topics of my glorious pastimes becomes directly realized, bringing the devotee to nishtha. We discussed this, correct? Then the topics becomes an elixir for the heart and ears at the stage of ruchi. By taste for these topics, asakti, bhava, and then prema for the Lord, who is a destroyer of material life, quickly develops in sequence. So what happens? Association of devotees happen, and immediately you develop the taste for hearing. But that is now in flickering stage. Now you started to hear. You don't know the position, the advanced position of the devotee. Okay, you started to worship, you started to hear, you started getting the taste of hearing. That initial, that budding things are happening now of a lotus flower, right? Now, when one hears devotional topics in devotee association, faith and other items gradually develop. Shraddha has started to now sprout. Okay, how does association occur? Previously I said that it occurs because of sukruti, right? We said, right, because of some previous sukrutis. We'll skip this verse. Then it says, when the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Acyuta, he may attain the association of your devotees. And then when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto you, who takes shelter of your devotees and are independent of higher and lower beings. Okay, we'll go ahead. Now, this is important. If the Kanishta, what did I say? Kanishta means which devotee? Third class devotee. Don't take third class, third class. No. Even at least his worship, that Shraddha is there. He's not an atheistic or Mayavadi who thinks that everything is one. He understands Krishna has a special position. At least he understands that. Correct? So, if a Kanishta, by association, concentrates on deity worship, how can it be said that he does not serve devotees? Okay? Haridas said, faith for worshipping the deity arises from accidentally associating with the devotees. I said it unknowingly. Accidentally he has taken some association. But it is necessary to worship the deity and serve the devotees at the same time. So what he's doing, he's serving the deity, but he has no respect for. Respect means respect doesn't mean just respect. No, respect means hearing. He's ready to hear, he's ready to serve in some way. And hearing itself is a service. You have to understand that. So he's developing the respect by hearing. As long as that faith does not arise, it is not full faith, and the qualification of pure bhakti does not arise. Now he's saying, now is the question, what are the stages of the Kanishta's progress? How can I progress from Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyam Adhikari? How can I progress from third class devotee to second class devotee? Some of you, we were reading 345 to 415 Nectar of Instruction. You remember these topics were discussed, but it is not discussed how we can progress. This section describes that. Okay, so this section is the most important that we are going to read. Okay, though one may have faith in the deity, because of many contaminations, it is not without other desires. But that person has a lot of other desires. He wants to live life king size, all that. He wants to have enjoyment, everything he wants to do. Right? He wants to worship also, but he's worshipping to get some results. Like that. That kind of tendency is there. Every day the person worships the deity. Certain people say, I come to your temple every time. Then I ask, when? Last year, Janmashtami ke time aaya tha. That's it. That is what they are coming. Right? By accident, some devotee arrives as a guest at his place of worship. He gets the opportunity to welcome the devotee like a guest. He sees the activities of the devotee. Now, he sees the activities of the devotee. And then little bit, heart is getting transformed. Why? Because he's seeing the actions. But my God, this devotee is when I saw Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, because Chaitanya Charan was staying with me when I am fortunate, but I saw that full day, he was just focused on Krishna Katha. He will give a class, he will get into the car, then he will, whatever he spoke during the class, if he got some realizations, he will start noting it down. Then he will say, Achu Chaitanya, for 10 minutes, don't disturb me. He will put a big kapada on his face and he will go to sleep. After that, he will get up and then next class, he will ask me. Then 5-10 minutes is remaining, he will say, what is the topic for the next class? Then I said, oh, this is the topic. He will put the chords in his ears, 10 minutes, he will just hear something, then under the next class, 1.5 hours. And in the night, I used to see only 1 or 2 hours he used to sleep. Time expands for these devotees. Can you sleep for 1 or 2 hours? No, not possible. But when we have completely given our life to Krishna, automatically time expands. Time becomes a servant of ours. Srila Prabhupada once, he was asking, he was late night, 2 a.m., he was translating, and then a disciple came. And then, because he rang the bell, so Srila Prabhupada, then a disciple came, Srila Prabhupada said, what were you doing? So this disciple said, I was sleeping, Srila Prabhupada. Why were you sleeping? Said, I was feeling sleepy, so said, but I'm not sleeping. So then disciple said, Srila Prabhupada, you're a pure devotee. Then Srila Prabhupada said, then why you are not a pure devotee? Then he was thinking, what to say now? Then he said, Srila Prabhupada, what do you want? He said, go and sleep. Like that. But we have to understand that when we have taken shelter of Krishna, then automatically the time expands. Time expands. So he sees the activity of the devotee. He hears the scriptures that the devotee studies. Then he starts feeling, oh, he's reading something. Maybe I should also try. He develops respect for the character of the devotee on seeing him and hearing from him. His own character becomes purified just by seeing him. That's why you have to come for Saturday morning, Sunday evening classes. Just by seeing the activities of the devotee, our heart starts to transform. And then we want to hear from him. Slowly. Gradually, his contamination of karma and jnana reduces. As his heart becomes purified, his desires for other goals in the bhakti dissipate. Hearing about the Lord and his status, he begins to study scriptures. Reflecting on the nature of the Lord, his name, his deity, hearing, chanting, everything he starts to do, which are all beyond the gunas. He develops sambandha jnana gradually. Sambandha jnana is, who am I, who is Krishna, and what is the relationship with me and Krishna. He starts to understand that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul, and my relationship with Krishna is Gopi Parthu Padkamalayo Das Dasanu Das. I am the servant of the Lord. He starts to understand this. When this knowledge is complete, he becomes Madhyamadikari. He becomes a second class devotee, because now he is able to understand the position of that great Vaishnava, that he is not an ordinary person. He is a great Vaishnava, and I should hear from him or her. At this time, the association of devotees and service to devotees takes place. Now he is able to serve the Vaishnavas. He distinguishes welcoming ordinary guest from serving the devotee. Now he is able to understand, oh, he is a devotee. I should not take association from him, whom he regards as a guru. So next question comes. So then he asks, Then he asks, what is the reason a Kanishta Adhikari doesn't progress? You know what he says? He says that if he is not taking association from an advanced Vaishnava and is taking association from all other people, then his progress will be stopped. In our life, if we see 9 to 5, we are busy with other people. So our other people association is a lot more than devotee association. So he's saying the same thing. He's saying, see, in what case is the certain progress is there? Then he will say, when association with devotees is more and with malicious persons is less, then the progress is quicker. So we have to see Saturday, Sunday, how, evening time, how we can hear from Srila Prabhupada. Because otherwise we will be there only, where we are. Sthane sthita. Literally, we are there where we are. But we will advance when we take association of devotees and we hear from them. Karna randhrena. Karna randhrena. Once, I'll end with that. Once, whoever he had to meet is Yudhishthira Maharaj. Before that, they have to meet Bhima. That was the protocol that time. So once, a person came running to Bhima. He wanted to meet Yudhishthira Maharaj and he came to Bhima instead. And he said to Bhima that suddenly the neighbor's fence is entering into my fence. Automatically. It is. How many of you have heard this story? Nobody? Okay, then I'll tell. So suddenly, automatically, this fence from others' neighbor is entering into my fence, my house. Imagine, your house is getting shrunken and shrunken. Shrunken and shrunken. So then Bhima understood, he was saying, I didn't understand what is happening. So then he said, okay, you go to Yudhishthira Maharaj because I am not able to understand what is happening. So he goes to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then he comes running out. He said, I understood. And he ran back. He left. Bhima didn't understand what is happening. Then suddenly, other person entered. And he said, I'm seeing a very weird thing. I have a large pot. And when I'm pouring that water from the large pot into small pots, and I'm putting that small pots again into large pot, I'm seeing the water is half only filled. But before that was full filled. But when I'm putting the water into all the small pots and putting it back into the large pot, the water is half only. So this Bhima was asked, why is it happening? So, Mala mahit nahi. Saying, I don't know why it's happening. So then he entered into, again he went to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then he came running. Oh, I understood, he left. And Yudhishthira Maharaj completely perplexed. Kai challa hai? What is happening? I'm not able to understand. Then after some time, the third sage came. I saw a very weird thing. From the eye of a needle, entire elephant was able to enter. But the tail got stuck. You understood? The entire elephant was able to enter through that needle of the eye of the needle, but the tail got stuck. I said, how is this possible? What are you saying? He said, no, I saw it. He said, I want to know why it's happening. He said, okay, you go to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So he went to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then he came out running. He said, I understood. Then he left and Bhima is confused. Then fourth person came. He said, I saw a big rock, which even haṭha-yoga, people like Khali, also not able to move. 15-20 people who came and they were also not able to move. But a sadhu, like this, thin sadhu came and he was able to move the rock. Exactly, like this. Thin sadhu. He was able to move the rock. How is it possible? Again, Bhima said, Mala, mahit nahi. I don't understand. So then he said, go to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then he came out and he said, I understood. He ran back. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj said, ye bahut ho gaya. I want to understand what is going on. So then, Bhima thought. Then Bhima went to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, what is going on? Yesterday in reading, remember I was talking about, I'll discuss about this one section. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking Arjuna, why are you sad, Arjuna? So this is the incident. He was saying inauspicious, these are all inauspicious things that he's saying that. So Yudhishthira Maharaj says, the first thing that you were seeing, that fence was moving into neighbor's house, that is a sign of people in Kali-yuga will start usurping others' land, property and everything. That's happening, right? Which was that movie? Ghosla ka ghosla, right? People are busy taking others' property. You will see that in Kali-yuga. So he was saying Kali-yuga is approaching. How winter is coming like that, Kali-yuga is coming. Then he said, okay, what about the other things? That pot is getting filled, little bit. And when the small pots are getting filled back into the big pot, said, whatever good you have done to others, you will always get the reciprocation as half. People will never be grateful in Kali-yuga. Have you seen this? He's saying Kali-yuga is approaching. He said, okay, I understood this. But still, this elephant thing, what is that? Then he said, if anyone has done any mistakes or some crime, the big people will escape. But who will get stuck? We have that black buck. What was that? Sorry. क्या था वो? Black buck था? Yeah, Salman Khan. Black buck. Right, that happened. The driver got stuck. The tail got stuck. He said, Kali Yuga is coming. Then he thought, you understood, right, what I'm saying? Yes. Then finally Yudhishthira Maharaj saying, okay, you might say, this all understood. What about the fourth thing? That, what is the sadhu thing or the brrr thing? That I did not understood. What is that? So he said, the amount of sins that you have in this material world, no strong man, nothing can be removed. That sins that is accumulated after life. But an association of sadhu can immediately remove that sins which are there in the heart. And that is the potency that we have got in this Kali Yuga. Yudhishthira Maharaj says like this to Bhima. So the association of Vaishnavas is the most potent thing that we can have in this life. Because when we get association of Vaishnavas, automatically we develop the taste or inclination for hearing. And then what we become? Shruti-parāyaṇāḥ. Shruti-parāyaṇāḥ. We become inclined towards hearing about Krishna. And we have to make sure that we become avyartha kalatvam, that we don't waste our time at all. Whatever time we get, we should open Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Kindle. When I was so inspired when I first time went to the Yatra of Vaishika Prabhu in February month it happens. Now it's happening again. In those times, now I don't know, from last couple of years I have not been able to go because of my company. I have to show in my company every day. What I observed is, he used to travel with us in the bus, same bus in which he used to travel. Those were the life. And I used to see, as soon as he enters the bus, he used to open Kindle and he used to start reading. Avyartha kalatvam. Kala means time. Avyartha, not wasting in a single moment. And I got some opportunity to drive him during Salesforce. That time also I have seen him. As soon as he will get in the car, he will discuss about reflection, something he will discuss about Krishna Katha, and then he'll open the book. He says, let me read. Once I was driving Karan Prabhu. And same thing, he was in Salesforce. We were coming back from Salesforce. And then he opened his small book. He has a small book. You would have seen while he's giving classes. And in that small book, he has the entire essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that from small book, he was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he was reading to me also. See that you will see advanced Vaishnava, great Vaishnava, they don't waste their time. Because time is the essence. Time is the only thing. Chanakya Pandit says that you spend your millions of gold coins, still it is not equivalent to a moment of time. Moment of time. Chanakya Pandit says in one of the things. So, that is the advantage of taking association of Vaishnavas so that we can get taste for hearing. Śruti-parāyaṇāḥ. Okay, we have 3 minutes, we will end here. You understood this today's session? So since we have 3 minutes, what we'll do is we'll do 2 things. First, we will chant the Hare Krishna mantra 10 times, because also Harinam is a sound incarnation of Krishna. And after that, what we'll do is, if we have time, we'll take up some 1 or 2 questions or reflections. Okay. So I wanted to share one more verse from Padyavali, but we'll skip. We don't have time. Maybe offline we will share. So now what we'll do is, we'll chant the Hare Krishna mantra. We'll do only 2 things. Oh yeah, one thing. This Sunday, we are going to have a Japa circle first time. We want to do this every month. So we'll do Japa circle or Japa session 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at Vinodari Gopinath Prabhu's house in Milpitas. Haribol. Vinodari Gopinath Prabhu's house. So in Milpitas. So 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. we'll come together and we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds. That will take around 2 hours. We'll see our capacity. How we go to gym to build our muscles. Yeah. Right. Similarly, you should also develop spiritual stamina by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. When we start chanting Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds, it might be a little boring, and this initially we might feel like that. Srila Prabhupada says it's like a jaundice. If we have jaundice, then we will not be able to taste the Hare Krishna. We'll feel the sugar candy as bitter, because we are suffering. We are suffering from jaundice. Similarly, when we are suffering from so many anarthas, we'll feel the Hare Krishna mantra as some distaste. But when we develop stamina, spiritual stamina, we start to develop taste. So 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. we will come together, and then 8 a.m. we'll have nice prasadam cooked by them, and you will know they're from north. So, I mean, anyways, any part of India, prasadam is amazing. So they are going to cook something for us. And obviously, for first to Krishna, then we'll take Uchishta. So please keep your 6 to 8 a.m. on Sunday free. We'll come together. We'll glorify Krishna by chanting his holy names. I'll send today evening. I'll send that.